Thought I'd get out for a bit of a ramble. And you all know how I love a good ramble. Fresh air. Good for the health and good for the soul. I must confess, I've been feeling a palpable wanderlust of late. The peaks and moors, they call to me. And it'd be rude not to answer. I find myself today in the small Staffordshire village of Alton, home to the Alton Towers theme park and resort, popular destination for tourists and thrill seekers alike. The village can be quite an hive of activity in the summer months. Folk travelling from all around to sample the many rides and attractions the park has to offer. Shame really, as Alton itself has a great many sights and sounds to experience. None the least a castle that has stood here since Saxon times, though I suspect that rough and ready warrior people would be hard pressed to recognise it today. For where once a fortification of wooden thatch once stood, now stands a great stone edifice of Gothic artistry, designed and constructed in the mid-19th century by the renowned architect Augustus Pugin. The castle casts a long shadow over the picturesque Churnip Valley. But for today, it'll have to wait, for it is not the reason for my visit. I track east from the village up Farley Lane until I reach a B&B. A sign points down a small woodland path to the left of the building, and I follow it. After a short stroll, I find what I've come to see: the chained oak. It's seen better days, I must admit. One great branch lies broken up on the ground. Great iron chains, the links thick as your thumb, coil round it. Some have it that once upon a time this great oak would have been the focus for pagan rites, the spiritual centre for heathen worship. Some folk even speak of blood sacrifice and other such dark devotions. Of the validity of these claims I cannot be certain, but I can attest to a certain eerie atmosphere. Of course, it'd be remiss of me not to mention the legend. 'Tis after all a staple of Staffordshire folklore, and the focus of the X-ride up at the park. That's X with an H, like what witches used to do. Anyway, one autumn night, Charles told that the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury were travelling by carriage to his home at Alton Towers, and out of nowhere, a woman stepped onto the road. The carriage ground to an halt, and somewhat miffed at the delay, the Earl asked the woman why she were there. Her response was to beg the Earl for a coin, just one coin, to feed her starving children. The Earl dismissed her cruelly and urged his driver onward. At this the woman barked out a curse. For every branch on the old oak tree that fell, a member of the Earl's family would die. But the Earl, rational man that he was, paid the curse no heed and carried on home. And as is always the case in these stories, that very night there were a storm. Thunder rolled and lightning cracked, striking the old oak, causing a single branch to fall. And as that branch came crashing to the cold autumn earth, so too did a member of the Earl's family die. Now, fully believing in the curse, the Earl ordered his servants to chain together every branch on the tree. A rather elaborate preventative measure, I'm sure you'll agree. To all outward appearances, there might well be some legitimacy to this tale, but looking at the facts, I have to wonder. Alton Towers' heritage has it that the chaining of the oak took place around the 1840s, which would have been the tenure of the 16th Earl, John Talbot, who was remembered by history as Good Earl John, due to him being renowned for his charity, having financed the construction of many almshouses, including those in the village of Alton. Don't really fit the description of the Earl and the story, does it? But what are the deaths? Well, 'tis true that a small number of the Earl's family died in his lifetime, Lady Gwendolen Catherine Talbot being the most notable, having died at the young age of 22, around the time of the oak's chaining. However, her death was far from mysterious. She succumbed to scarlet fever during a visit to Rome in 1840. So why then were the oak chained? One theory is that it were an effort of preservation. During their tenure, the 15th and 16th Earls greatly expanded the tower's lands, constructing new buildings and extending the gardens. Many new trees were planted. However, the old trees were greatly prized. The great oak sat in a place of prominence, being situated just off the frequently used coach road. It's therefore likely that the tree were chained to prevent it collapsing under its own weight and obstructing the Earl's carriageway. But being stood here looking up at the gnarled branches, I have my suspicions. Could there be something ominous about this tree? What else are changed for, if not to hold summit, bind it in place? What if that summit is free, a thing once worshipped, made fat on the blood of sacrifice? Could a spirit once venerated be wandering the woods of Alton? Why not visit and find out? But alas, there be much more to see, many more paths to wander. So let's be off. Until next time, keep on wandering.